Okay, guys, so as promised, I'm going to be giving you interviews from the campaign trail. And right now we have Brian Hawley, who is out of Harnett/Johnston County, who is running for House representative, and he wants to displace Howard Penny, who's been in for just a little while. I don't believe he's ever been elected in, but since he's gotten elected in
One time.
okay. And then the time he was there, he instituted a, get this guys, social emotional learning bill for kindergartners. And now he's running under his desk. He's hiding because he wants to take his name off of that bill so that you guys, the voters, never find out. We will, we're not going to pull any punches though, Brian.
No, I'm not. It's the bad thing, Sloan, is, I've not made anything personal ever in politics, but I have definitely pointed out the policy issues that we've been going through. I'm tired of us rewarding the same nonsense that goes on day in and day out in our Republican Party. If we're truly going to be conservatives and we truly want voter integrity and we truly want all these good things for our families and we truly believe that, we have got to start holding those who are failing to even read policy accountable and remove them. Doesn't necessarily make them a bad person, it just makes them the wrong person. So we've got to do what's right.
Right. We have a serious problem in this state in this respect. We keep voting and putting in Republicans for the last 20 years of the state house, but look at the mess we're in now. This mess with education was created by Republicans. So we clearly are allowing non-Republicans or rhinos to slip through the cracks. We have got to vote in this primary. I'm telling you right now, especially in a red wave election where we know that Republicans are probably going to be getting in, we have got to send the right ones up to Raleigh. Brian, this cannot continue to happen. This guy, social emotional learning, which is transgender grooming for kindergartners, and he was seeking money, taxpayer money from you guys to pay for that crap.
Yes, he was. And what even is more alarming, and I'm going to have to put this out there, Sloan, I've been holding back, but these organizations that should be doing a better job in vetting our candidates and who we actually get behind to endorse and try to move forward to do what's right for our families, they're failing. I know they all have good intentions. I believe the majority of them have good intentions. However, when you have an organization such as the one in Johnston County that is putting out a yellow voter guide saying that's their conservative voter guide, that has endorsed my opponent who attempted, let's just say he aligned himself with leftist Democrats. 31 Democrats were on the bill he co-sponsored that would have placed SEL in a kindergarten classroom, 5-year-old children. Okay, he did this. Then this organization who says that they started against CRT is the organization that endorsed this gentleman. That is just, that has got to stop. We are harming our own party by allowing these groups, whether they're establishment Republicans or what they are, they all have agendas. Those agendas need to be, uncovered, and we need to present it to the voters. Because in my opinion, this is my opinion, Sloan, this is nothing more than voter fraud. They are influencing the outcome of a primary by misleading conservative-minded voters into voting their candidates in who have failed our families. And we have got to fix this.
Absolutely. I'm even hearing that they are, some people think this group is an extension of the Republican Party, just trying to get the incumbents reelected. Have you heard anything about that? Can we verify that? What's going on?
I personally don't know that to be true. I've heard the same, rumors. However, my time with the Johnston County Republican Party and those folks in Johnston County has been very limited, as you're well aware. And if not, many voters probably are not. When they redrew the districts, I was originally in District 28, which was Larry Strickland's district out of Johnston County, but we were the only municipal area in Harnett County that was, in his area, in his district. So when they redrew the districts, they put me into District 6, a brand new district, no incumbent. So I have filed for that seat. We were doing extremely well there. I think we would have been victorious. We would have added another conservative Republican to the party in Raleigh, but one that actually will stand up and fight for our families, because our people are being forgotten and ignored. But then they drew me at the last minute right back into 53. My intent was not to run for this seat, but my son came to me. He was home from college. He came to me the day of filing, when it was going to end, and he convinced me to do this. So, we had a lot of support before that happened. A lot of people calling, asking me to do that. And that's really what, pushed me to do this. So my time has been very limited with the Johnston County folks. I've been to every event that I can think of. Since I put my name on the ballot, I've spoken to many people. I've been up there to the polls. One of the things I observed at the polls last week really concerned me when one of those members with the yellow card walked up to 4 individuals and stated that they are a nonpartisan group. And I'm like, I don't understand. Nonpartisan group. She made this comment, nonpartisan group. All right. And I said, hold on a minute. I told the gentleman everybody on that card is a Republican. And then she continued to talk to them and said that the school board is nonpartisan. Of course, we all know that in Johnston County, they're not selected by party. So we know that's a nonpartisan election, but they are not a nonpartisan group. They are very partisan. So they are misleading people. They are not putting out valuable information. They're failing to vet people. I even did the survey for them, Sloan, on March the 8th. Okay, didn't even know the organization existed. I emailed it in before midnight, and it never even got looked at. I still have the emails that confirm that it went through. So these organizations have got to do a better job.
Yeah, totally agree. What I will say is that people need to do their own homework. So you're in Johnston County or wherever you are tonight. What I want you to do is go to your county, and it's very simple. Go to your county board of elections. They've got a sample ballot for you, and the candidates that you don't know or you have not vetted yet, just go down a line and it really only takes you maybe 20, maybe 30 minutes. Go check the website of the person. I like to check their social media posts, right? For their own personal social media for the last maybe year, just kind of skim it. And I would also see how that candidate has voted, because there are a lot of Democrats, because it is favorable to run now as a Republican. There are a lot of Democrats that, make a last minute switch to the Republican Party just to get that nomination, but they're going to behave as Democrats. So also important that you, while you're still on the board of election website, check to see how that person has been voting. Have they never voted? Are they, because you're going to find out a lot, right? Sure. Do they vote in primaries? That's something that's important to a lot of people. And are they Republican? That's key.
It is. I will mention, since you brought up a key point here, this is going to be a little bit off track what you're stating, but we're talking about CRT and SEL in our public schools. While at the polls, I have been talking to everyone. I've been talking to Republicans. I've been talking to independents or unaffiliated, whichever you wish to prefer to call them. And I have been speaking to the Democratic voters as well. And overwhelmingly, this is an issue that most people, the vast majority of people that I've spoken to, if I had to give you a percentage, I would say 98% of the people are concerned, Democrats included, are concerned with CRT in the schools.
Yeah.
A gentleman with his UNC stuff on came to me and said, I'm a Democrat, I can't vote for you. And I asked him, sir, what's your number one concern? He said, well, I have grandchildren. So SEL, CRT, this transgender movement that's been going on is a major concern, because I do not want my grandchildren exposed to this. And I said, sir, that's what I am advocating against. I am standing up, making sure that our families have representation that's going to make sure we have parental rights. We're going to hold DPI accountable. If I had my way, NCDPI would be dismantled completely. I believe, I've always had this, and I've been consistent on my stance on education. We at our local levels should be controlling our education and destiny. The more we are involved here at our local levels, the better our government will be. I believe that because I believe that's Jeffersonian, and that's where I stand on policy.
Absolutely. Well, last week, a couple of days ago, I don't even know what day it is, it's been so long because it's primary season, Monday night, I was at a hearing up at the General Assembly, and I spoke with David Willis and a couple of other reps. And I said, listen, what we're advocating for is a 50% reduction in the DPI. And that would mean in the positions created, and that would mean in the budget. And the three of them looked at each other and started laughing. I'm like, what's up? They're like, well, we're talking about doing 100% reduction in the DPI. So this is,
I would be right there.
absolutely. So this is something that's being talked about. I think when we get the supermajority, it will be done. I think Catherine Truitt will be in for one hell of a surprise, because I tell you what she's done. The guy before her eliminated 50, 60 positions and tried to whittle away at the DPI. She immediately raised that back up and doubled it. So the spending has exploded. She's paying people in there more than the state allows for those positions to be paid.
So while teachers get paid not even a livable
Correct.
wage, we're paying six-figure salaries to the bureaucrats who have nothing to do with educating our children, which is totally wrong.
Completely wrong.
And yes, so
yeah, no, totally wrong. So the DPI needs to be done away with. You know, my position on Superintendent Truitt. We need people that do what they say they're going to do when they're elected. They do what they say they're going to do. The transgender grooming thing is a very big issue. It's malevolent, it's evil, it's dangerous, it's harmful,
it is,
and it's massively unpopular, as you just said. So how are you going to fight back against the state coming into the classroom? I mean, your opponent, again, I want to underscore this. You know, Howard Penny wants transgender grooming. Why? Because he put his name on a bill that would have that for kindergartners. Now, you might say, well, maybe the guy really believes in it, except he doesn't, because he's since removed his name from the bill. What he did was wrong. He knows it's wrong, and now he's hiding, Brian.
He is. You know, one thing I want to add real quick before I forget, you made a good point about, you know, a supermajority. But I'm going to also add to that the vast number of people that I have spoken to that are grassroots Republicans and very conservative and minded, and love this nation very dearly, are fed up with the bureaucrats up there representing us. We keep hearing the same excuse from the Republican representation that Governor Cooper vetoes everything we put in. That's fine. Let him veto it. But here's the problem I'm having with them. They're not fighting. They are not taking us back to our levels and telling us what's going on. They're not communicating. Now they're going to put some blame on the voters. I guarantee you that. But the problem I've had for the last 2 years, they can blame COVID, they can blame anything. They just like to deflect. They are a problem. And until we hold them accountable, nothing will ever change. Marxists are inside our own party, and we've got to start identifying them. Now, I'm not going to sit here and take shots at anyone individually, but I'm going to say my concerns are not only did he fail in that one policy there, and I believe that's where he made a big mistake, but he also made mistakes on other policies that people should investigate and look at. He had introduced a bill or sponsored a bill that would have marginalized or minimized the authority of our school boards, our local school boards. That is another bill that I was looking into. Yep. I'm telling you, I've been looking into all sorts of things with this incumbent. He had introduced a bill that would have reduced transparency. And when I say that, that means the bill would have allowed government to only do public notices in one location. That would have been their own website. Now, not everybody has a computer. So if they're going to hold them accountable to put it in print media and those things, if he would have got his way, government could have just continued to step on individual rights, whether it's your property rights, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. So these are bills policy-wise that he has no clue what he's doing. He doesn't read the policy, or he just does not have the experience or the understanding of the policy. It's one or the other. Either they need to hold him accountable for not reading the policies, or they need to hold him accountable for not knowing how to write or read or introduce policy. My background is in policy. I would be very strong in that. My personality, my nature is to fight for things. I've been a fighter my entire life, Sloan. I've served this nation with honor in the military. I was a servant to my family. My grandparents raised me. I participated in my church. I have served my entire life. So service to others is not something that's unique or new to me. But I believe that we've got to send people to Raleigh, to DC, to even our municipal, local, county levels, every level of government that has a spine. We don't need any more coat racks.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'd be happy if some of these guys did nothing. But the fact of the matter is, you do have people like Howard Penny who have actually done something, right? And it's been had a malevolent force. It could have, if it were not shut down, a malevolent force in our school systems. And so let's talk about early voting. So today is Wednesday. We've got what, 7 more days? Well, we've got early voting ends Saturday, everybody. So yes, just so you know, and then Tuesday is go time, baby. Yes, go time. You have got to vote in these primaries. I know it's a pain in the butt because we've got to vote in May and then again in November, but I'm telling you what you already know. You've already seen the price that we have paid for having fake Republicans in office. We cannot continue to allow this to happen.
That's true. And I'll tell you, there's another stark difference in me and my opponent. You know, when we talk about right of center, I'm right of center, a little more right than him, of course, but I'm also big on individual freedoms and liberties. He is more up on the matrix of big government and big national policy. Oh, yeah. That's an issue. That is a major issue. If you really truly believe in our inalienable rights that were God-given to us, ordained from our Creator, then you have got a duty and a responsibility to start vetting these candidates better. And I implore everybody to please look at those differences, because that is where we are today in our political arena. We've got people that believe in big policy, big government, and it's harming every family that's on here. Inflation, schools, I mean, you go down the list, jobs, government handouts. Yeah. It's every freedom we have is our religious liberties. Our own legislature allowed mask mandates to be placed on us in North Carolina by recalling the mask law. It blows my mind. If anybody wishes to wear a mask, that's their personal choice. I'm not going to say anything to them, but that should be their individual right to do so, not government's responsibility to tell us how to live.
Yeah, and both parties are doing it. It is a uniparty. We're seeing that on the federal level, at the state level, and even at City Hall. So, so we're going to wrap this up with saying that, look, if you have not already voted, you have to go do it. You've got a few days left to do the early voting, Brian, but you got to get out there the 17th. If you want a pro-freedom candidate, pro-family values with actual experience in the classroom, you're going to vote for Brian Hawley. We vetted him early on. Love the guy. He's got all the same issues we always talk about, but being somebody that will really leave nothing on the field, if you will, and will take care of business while he's up in Raleigh.
That's right. Sloan, number one, I'm a Christian. I'm very conservative. I'm an American veteran, and I'm a patriot, but I'm also a husband, father, and I'm a fighter. I will definitely defend every freedom and liberty we have in our Constitution, every right that was given to us by our Creator. I will not capitulate to the left. I won't compromise our values. It's time that we send people to Raleigh that are going to make the left start to compromise their values to us so that we can start gaining what we are losing.
Absolutely. Well, I look forward to the 17th when you and I can celebrate your victory. And if someone wants to help you out, you're looking for door knockers. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I do have some help out there, but we always can use more. Really, Johnston County is where I could really use a lot of support. I need door knockers, phone callers, anything we can do. Definitely, we need people at the polls. I can't cover, with some of my volunteers that I've got out here. Everybody has a job and they can't be at all the polls, and I can't be at four different locations. I have 3 in Harnett County that actually are in my immediate area where I'm running for office, but only 1 in Johnston County, and that's Cleveland, and it's about 30 minutes from where I live. So it's very difficult for me to get to all 4 polling sites every day. So anybody wishes to support me or help me, they can reach me. And I believe that we all, when we're willing to serve in any capacity, we should be accessible. So if they wish to call me, my number is 910-308-7750. they can text me whatever they wish to do. But we
What's your
definitely,
website? What's your website?
HawleyforHouse.com,
Spell-
HAWL, excuse me, HAWLEYFORHOUSE.com. And then if you wish to email me, that's Brian Hawley for House, all spelled out, no numbers. Brian Hawley for House at outlook.com.
At outlook.com.
Yes.
Very good. All right. Well, thank you, Brian. Good luck, and we'll catch up with you on or about the 17th.
Thank you, Sloan.